Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, ZombiesDon'tRun.net proudly brings you its soon-to-be horror podcast champions of the world. I'm Chuck Connery.
And this is Ethan Bowden all day long, baby.
And this is Zombies Don't Podcast right here on ZombiesDon'tRun.net. Your number one source whenever we feel like podcasting.
Yes, sir.
For what's going on in the world of horror and
other things in general, I guess.
Mostly horror, though.
Yeah.
Mostly horror. So, we did 3 shows, and then we took a break. Where you been, boy?
I mean, that was not supposed to happen.
Well, what ended up happening was we actually ended up, once again, working on the movie. Working on door 1 of the 5 Doors to Hell.
And it's been lit all the time we've been doing it.
Which is still filming. It is still filming. Basically, what happened was, in November, we filmed the first segment. It's an anthology film. We filmed the first segment. Everybody took a break for Thanksgiving. They took a break for Christmas. And I don't know. I reckon everybody's waiting on me. I was waiting on them.
They said they was all free, so.
And they was like, well, we're free. And I was like, oh, yeah?
They probably was free, after Christmas, probably even before Christmas. But we didn't even know it.
I know. So I was like, well, when are you wanting to start recording again? They was like, anytime you want to. I said, well, how about this weekend?
Right.
So before this weekend, I decided, okay, in the script, we got this scene that requires a video store. You know how hard it is to find a video store in the year 2017?
Oh, I know. I was with you.
It's extremely hard, but they don't know that, though. So we got to take them on this journey.
Okay,
we got to take them on this trip. And we got to take them down to McMinnville, Tennessee, to Northside Video, where we just walked up in there looking probably suspicious.
Yeah, probably. Well, at first we just walked in there, started looking around until he got off the phone. He was on the phone.
I know, and that's like the worst thing ever because we have to stand around and just look stupid until he gets off the phone.
That woman was like, can I help y'all with something? Like, he's fixing to wrong or something.
She was like, I know they ain't got an account. I know these boys ain't got no account.
Yeah.
What do they want here? So we go, oh, no, we're just looking.
Yeah.
We're just looking. So after he gets off the phone, we're like, hey, I'm blah, blah, blah. You're blah, blah, blah. Doot. We're making a horror movie. We need a video store. And you got the only one.
Exactly.
It's either you or Family Video. And he agreed with us. Yeah, corporate video, they probably be like, well, we can't let y'all do that up in here.
Probably.
They like, what y'all plan on doing?
But we're not going to talk about all the obstacles we had to jump before we got to the video store that day.
Oh, man.
And afterwards.
Yeah, but basically we got there and I knew everybody was going to be late. I figured everybody would be late. He told us to film at 9.
Yeah.
I said, we're filming at 8.
Yeah, but it took to 8 or it took to 9 to get them all there.
Well, that's the one time everybody was about early though. Like one person was a little bit late, but most people got there early. So I'm like, okay. So I tell them the truth now that we're not filming till 9.
Yeah.
So we get to the video store and that place is packed.
There were so many people in there. You wouldn't understand. I bet he made more money that night. I bet it was because you put it on Facebook.
Probably was. I was like, yeah, this is Chuck Connery, and we're going to film at a real video store. And everybody's like, oh, something's happening in McMinnville, Tennessee. So we got to get up there.
It was like everybody and their mama was in there that night, dude.
And a lot of them come in not to really, they just looked around. It's like, what y'all doing? What y'all doing?
Yeah, most of them didn't even rent none. I think one guy brought back a VHS, which, who rents a VHS?
Because Northside Video still rents VHS tapes, and people still rent them, apparently. I collect them, but now renting them, I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
He rented Assault on Precinct 13.
Is that what he rented?
That old John Carpenter film, Assault on Precinct 13.
It was sitting on the counter the whole time we was filming, I think.
I know, because nobody moved it, but... Yeah. I don't know, and finally, we didn't get filming until like 9:30.
Well, that's because even after the first people left, when we started getting everything set up, then other people kept on coming in after that, so he finally had to lock the doors.
He had to close up about 30 minutes early just to get us rolling.
Yeah.
And it was 6 pages of dialogue. 6 pages of dialogue. But one thing led to another, yakety-smackety. We didn't wrap up to after 12 midnight.
Yeah, well, it was 1 o'clock before we got here.
Golly, man, I bet he thought it was going to be like a real quick thing, and we thought it was going to be a real quick thing.
Well, he didn't get annoyed, though,
No, he didn't act like he cared, which is good, but, of course, now we got technical problems, which we can talk about them because it ain't spoiling nothing, but we worked with a DSLR camera, a really nice DSLR camera, first time we ever worked with it. autofocus is not your friend.
No, it's not at all.
Because some scenes that we shot that we can't go back and reshoot get a little soft, a little blurry.
Yeah, you know, like it's like it focuses on the wrong thing sometimes.
I know, but like the worst thing though is there is a fluorescent light right above our head, and you're working with a $400 microphone, and next thing you know, we think everything's all cool and calm, and when we get back to the playback, everybody's talking, and over the dialogue we hear bzzz.
And to the naked ear, I'll say, instead of the naked, you know, like eye or whatever, but to the naked ear, you wouldn't even hear it at all.
No, but now this is kind of give us a little bit of a hassle, because now, what we got to do now is we got to go back, not necessarily refilm it, but we got to actually record the dialogue again.
Redub the line.
And dub it. So we're either going to get it really smooth or we're going to look like a Kung Fu movie from the 60s and 70s.
I don't know. I mean, if it was to come down to the, like, it not looking great or whatever, we could refilm it, you know. But I hate to, but we could.
I hate to, man. I hate to. I think we can make it work because I cut it. Like, it's already cut together and it looks good.
Yeah.
It's just the sound's bad. Like, yeah. And some of the sound ain't bad, but some of it is. It's like whenever we switch the camera around from like the back or something, you didn't hear it. But every time we're right straight forward, we hear bzzz.
It was because the light was just dead over the counter, pretty much.
And I heard him say that that's probably an indication that that light's about to blow.
Probably.
Because no other light in there was doing that, I don't think.
No, because if you remember, when we was on the left side of the counter, the right side of the counter, and behind it, you couldn't even hear it. Like,
the only other problem was the drink machine, which sounded like a doggone Chevrolet truck starting up or something.
Yeah, it did.
Like,
well, at first it was just running regular, yeah. And then after that the fan kicked on, man. It sounded like you just put it in 4-wheel drive and mashed on it.
But we got it done, and like I said, I'm very happy Dave let us shoot down there, and I'm sure if we had to, he would let us do it again.
Oh, yeah.
But we got to go back down there, and we got to at least get his vocals on that so we can redub it.
Yeah.
Supposed to be filming again this weekend, on Saturday. We're filming the rest of the wraparound. This time we're not going to use autofocus, and this time we're going to have backup audio recording, so this will be fine.
Yeah.
This will not mess up like the other did, hopefully. Cross your toenails, cross your fingernails, get your wishbone off the turkey, break it in half, and hope for that, okay? That's what I want you to do.
You know, I hope that they go exactly by the lines, because, I mean, the last time I was getting a little anal about the parts that they were supposed to say, you know.
They're not going to go exactly line for line.
I know, but, you know, they forgot
now,
some of the most important parts.
Kelly might, because Kelly, like, she's a little bit more experienced with stuff like this.
Yeah.
So she may go line for line, because I know when we did Morbid, she went pretty well line for line. Like, the people that have, like, theater experience and stuff like that, they're more equipped to go line for some reason.
I mean, they all done great.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you know, like, there was a couple parts in there that had to be said, or the plot didn't even play out.
Oh, we finally hit them.
Yeah, I know.
Finally hit them. But I feel sorry for like the girls, because they come all the way down there. They stood around for hours, and when you look at the dialogue, they didn't have like what 2 or 3 lines apiece.
Maybe.
It's just like, just stand here and look cute.
Yeah.
Because everybody else has got to talk. Poor Dave. I don't think he's ever acted before, and he had to have like a whole block of stuff to say, and. Hey, we got it though, and we're still getting it.
I think BJ done probably the best.
Yeah,
overall.
But now,
but he had more lines. You know?
If things are planned out, you know, if we shoot like one scene per day, and we can only get this going on a weekend, then we probably about, not counting this weekend, we're probably 3 weekends away from finishing the movie.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we can get it out there somehow, whether it be DVDRs, BDRs. I don't know. I'd like to do Blu-rays for sure, and maybe if a company wants to do DVDs, let them. Or maybe we could do like what Dave was talking about with that reproduction place. Yeah. But the thing is, I'd like to have a bunch of copies on hand, and I bet any copy you get in that place in Kentucky, you got to buy it.
That's the only thing about it, though. If they print on demand, you know, then that's just like as people buy them, right?
Yeah, I guess.
So,
kind of like the Warner Archive collection, but I don't know if it's like print disc or like, you know, press disc, or if it's just burnt stuff, so I don't know. But it probably looks good. I don't know. I'm up to anything, but I just want to get the movie out there. Whatever gets it out there quick, which is why I'm not going straight with distribution labels, because they'll want to sign you, but then they'll want to wait 2 years before they put it out.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to wait, man. When my movie's done, I want the world to see it.
I think we ought to do it ourselves.
That's probably the best way to do it. And
that's the way to make the most money.
Exactly. And the next way, like Dave was talking about, he was saying that they could probably get us a little bit of production value He's got some connections. He can get us into the jailhouse to shoot a scene for the segment.
And I mean, that was the best thing that I'd heard all day. That day.
Yeah. And he's, there's a lot of good things.
The other thing, he said we could get it premiered at the theater.
Yeah, he mentioned the theater there. Maybe we get it right in the center of town. Because Morbid premiered at an art center, but Morbid never played on a theater screen.
Right.
Maybe I can sweet talk him into a double feature.
Hey, that'd be even better.
Let's play Morbid first or last, because depending on your opinion of it. But that's what we've been up to, and that's why we didn't have no podcast last week or the other week, because all this was going on in between you handling ink at a factory.
Yeah.
We won't even talk about the ink factory.
No, we won't.
But nonetheless, I did watch some movies this week, semi-watched some movies this week. I got the Coffin Joe films in this week. Now, it wasn't the 2008's Embodiment of Evil on Blu-ray, because I've had that forever, but these were DVDs from Synapse Films, directed by Coffin Joe, whose name is Jose Mujica Marina, something like that. They just call him Coffin Joe. He's Brazilian. These are Brazilian films. Apparently, the material to these films is so bad, the shape of them is so rough, that they cannot run them through a transfer machine, to get them in HD. So you got to take them as they are on DVD. Really? So I watched 1964's At Midnight I'll Take Your Soul. You didn't see this, but they're black and white. It's Brazilian. Basically, Coffin Joe is this character that runs around, and he's trying to find the perfect woman to bear his child, because he's a very anti-religious character, very dark character. Mm-hmm. And maybe the films in general are kind of anti-religion. I don't know, but the way it is he's looking for a woman to bear his child, so he decides that the perfect person to bear his child is none other than his best friend's woman. Wow. The only guy in town that will have anything in the world to do with him is who he decides to try to steal the woman of. So at one time at night, he says he's going to walk her home, and he makes a pass at her, and she homie don't play that.
Yeah.
She ain't into that. So, he's like, well, I'll make you love me anyway. So spoiler alert if you've not seen these, he figures out a plan to try to do away with his friend and all that stuff. So he can
is
try
he
to
supposed to be like Satan or something?
I don't really know. He's Satan-ish. I mean, because he's the way it is.
He's an atheist.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's just satanic. I don't know. But nobody in town likes him. He's evil. He does all kinds of awful stuff, and eventually, it's kind of like Frankenstein. I think it's at the end of it, the townspeople, they kind of come for him. Of course, some other stuff comes for him before. I won't spoil. But I will say this much, and it might be a bit of a spoiler, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. When the film's over, you're under the impression that Coffin Joe dead. Okay? Right. Like, Coffin Joe needs a coffin. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's not Jason Voorhees. He's not Freddy Krueger. He's not Michael Myers. He's dead as Dillinger. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, he's dead. And it looks pretty certain. So, here comes 1967's This Night I Will Possess Your Corpse, which is the sequel to At Midnight I'll Take Your Soul. Coffin Joe lives. Really? Somehow, in the most ridiculous Brazilian fashion ever, they bring back Coffin Joe, and he's in black and white again, and he's still looking for the perfect woman. And I didn't get too far into it because things kept happening, and I didn't get to finish them. I was trying to watch it twice, and twice something come up, and we left, and we didn't get to finish it.
I think I was trying to tell you something.
I guess so. Maybe God trying to tell me don't watch these Coffin Joe movies. But I got as far into them to know that at the start of the movie, the miraculously recovers from his ailments from the first film. Now he's still looking for a woman, so he kidnaps all these women in town, and he's going to pick the best one to bear his child. Whatever happens, I'm not too sure because I didn't finish it. But if 2008's Embodiment of Evil tells me anything, I already know how he's going to end up anyhow. But in 2008's Embodiment of Evil, which is like a Blu-ray, it's colorized Full and all HD. That stuff, yeah, he's still looking for a woman. So he's making it do what it do. We're trying to, I guess. So. But these films are interesting, man. I mean, I don't think everybody would like them, but I like them all right. And they've got some intros from the director, and they got some documentary stuff on there, about the director, about the films, and some interviews and all that. So it's good. Like I said, not everybody is going to love these Coffin Joe movies, but that's about how it is with all horror films.
Right.
A little something more normal, though. Vestron Video keeps releasing all these old films on Blu-ray, and they're not really sure how many there are. They say they're limited. And they're so limited, like the first 3 I couldn't even get. Like, really? I still ain't got them, and I'm going to have to pay $50 for them a piece if I buy them. But
what are they?
It was Chopping Mall, Blood Diner, and Waxwork 1 and 2 combo pack.
Have you seen any of them?
I've seen them all, but I have Blu-ray. I have DVDs of them, but I don't have Blu-rays of them. But now they put out the last two I got, which was Return of the Living Dead 3 and Chud 2 of all things. But now the newest one that I've got was come out, I think, last week or the week before last, was 1989's Parents by Bob Balaban or Babylin or Balban, or however his name is. It's starring Randy Quaid and Mary Beth Hurt. They play these weird parents, and they got a son, and he's kind of unsocial, and they move into this new town, and everybody kind of realizes something's up with them. And through all the stuff we see, if you've watched a lot of horror films, you know what these guys are doing. Right. Like, the dad works, like, at the corpse place. I guess he's something that has to do with corpses. I'm not sure if
like
it's...
an embalmer or
yeah,
something?
I'm not sure if it's like full-fledged embalmer or what he is, but he works with dead bodies. He's always cooking and stuff, so that should just give you a hint of what they're up to.
Right.
And that's not too obvious of a spoiler because it's pretty obvious early on what's going on. Mm-hmm. And the kid's like finding this out, and the kid don't want to eat the meat, and the kid don't want to do anything that the parents want him to do. And then this brings in a social worker, and she's trying to figure out what's going on at home, and she's real nosy.
Right.
But
most social workers are.
Exactly. And it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, because I thought it was going to be like more of a comedy because you got Randy Quaid in it, who was in the Christmas Story, or not Christmas Story, but Christmas Vacation and all the vacation movies. Yeah, he played like Chevy Chase's. It's either his brother or his wife's brother. It's uncle, whatever, in those movies. And I thought it was going to be like more of a comedy, and it has some comedic stuff in it, but it's not a full-fledged comedy. There's a whole lot of more serious, darker stuff, I mean, it's still got a few laughs here and there, but it wasn't the all-out horror comedy I thought it was going to be. It's interesting. I mean, I liked it pretty well. It's definitely something that, not everybody's going to like, which is kind of like about every movie I watched this week.
So, as in horror comedies like you're talking about, are you talking about something like Scream?
Kind of, but more like Return of the Living Dead stuff. Okay. Like the more Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
The more funny
stuff.
Yeah,
more funny type stuff. But this one here is a little more straighter than I thought it was going to be. But it's all right, and it looks good. I mean, it could have looked a little better. It does look a little soft, I will say, in HD, and it's got a bunch of interviews and commentary and stuff like that. It does not have an interview with Randy Quaid, which I guess is pretty common knowledge, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but Randy Quaid spent the majority of the last few years apparently running from the government.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's a very strange man. Look up Randy Quaid on YouTube.
I mean, why does he run from the government, though?
I'm not sure. Something happened.
He's scared of the government.
Like, either he's paranoid and they're after him for tax stuff, or they're really not after him for anything, and he's just doing it all.
Crazy or something?
Exactly. But I don't know, man. It's something or another's going on with it, and he was on the run, so he kind of lost his mind, and he ain't really getting any work, and I guess they couldn't be like, hey, Randy, come out of hiding and do this interview for this Blu-ray. The other Vestron Blu-ray I watched was 1988's The Lair of the White Worm, directed by Ken Russell, the same man that directed the very trippy cinematic version of The Who's Tommy, which I seen when I was a kid. I've got it on DVD. I mean, I got it on Blu-ray on Steelbook. I haven't rewatched it. He did The Devils, which is supposed to be so like hardcore that it's not released yet here in America. And Altered States, which is a very trippy film that shows a man through a series of scientific experiments revert back to the prehistoric caveman ways. This stars Hugh Grant. You know Hugh Grant? Yeah. Apparently he's not proud of the fact that he was in this movie, but he's in it. And it's the plot of a Scottish archaeologist which finds a skull-looking thing. It looks like kind of like a dragon, and he learns of the history of it, which is of the Ampton worm, which, if you don't know what that is, I didn't know what it was either. Apparently it's a dragon snake. It's a folklore thing. There's a real catchy song in the movie that tells all about it if you want to watch it. Like an old, I don't know, Irish jig of sorts.
Irish jig.
And it stars this Amanda Donahoe as this snake-like woman who's apparently a part of a ancient cult or something, and she's trying to make sacrifices and whatnot to the dragon snake to bring it back to Earth. And it's complex, and it's Ken Russell, so there's some really trippy scenes and stuff, but it's also kind of funny. Like, it's a lot more humorous than most of the Ken Russell stuff that I've seen, and I think this was intentional. I don't think it was unintentional. This was intentional. And what's so odd about it, man, is like this woman, like Amanda Donahoe, her character is naked for a good portion of the film, but she's like a snake person. Like, she has these things. I thought at first it was like vampire things, but she's a snake, basically.
Oh, really?
And she bites people, and the people she bites turn into, like, her minions, and when you play snake charmer music, it charms her. You know?
So does she go from, like a regular human to a snake? Or
Yeah,
is she
yeah.
like a shapeshifter? Sort of like that. Like, for the most part of the movie, she's in human form, but then she sprouts these fangs, and then she starts turning green. And by the time the movie's over, she's full green. And I don't know if we're supposed to be implied that she's turned into a snake, or if she's just some cult with fangs. I don't know. It's an odd film. It's a little hard to follow if you don't just completely stare at the TV from start to finish. But it's interesting, and it's a little campy for 1988. What about the one that you said wasn't released here? Have you seen it, or is it
The
new?
Devils? No, The Devils is old. Like, people's talked about it a lot. I think it's banned in the UK, I think, or something like that.
What is it about?
I'm not really sure. I think it's got to do with, like, a priest or stuff like that. I mean, you know, it's really religious type themes, which a lot of his stuff has. Altered States has, like, a really trippy scene that has, like, a religious, you know, symbolism in it and stuff. And then this has some of that, too, which is very blasphemous, by the way. Mm-hmm. It seems to be a common theme for the stuff we've watched this week, except for the parents. They're not really blasphemous, but it's all in all, it's an interesting flick. I've never seen it. It's probably worth a watch. I don't know if you're going to go back and watch it again after you watch it the first time, but it's all right. And that's pretty much what I've seen.
Right.
You got to see Evil Dead, didn't you?
Yeah, I watched the old one and the remake this week. I mean, which I've seen them before.
What's the old one? I believe, like, I don't have the information in front of me. I believe it's from 1981. But it's pretty famous because it was shot here in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Which is always
wasn't
cool.
It shot up towards Gatlinburg?
I believe so. It's up towards there, and that cabin was there for years, or at least the one from part 2. One of the cabins were there for a long time, and then finally whoever owned the ground got tired of everybody coming to see it, so they just tore it down. I mean, you could set that up and make a lot of money off of it.
Oh yeah, you can make it like a what do they call it? Like a historic landmark.
Yeah, like a tourist
in the movie.
Thing. Yeah,
in the
you can sell T-shirts and all this stuff, but apparently the guy either doesn't care about stuff like that, or he never thought about it, but he just tore the place down. And,
well, I mean, if you have a place where a famous movie was shot, I'm gonna try to get cashed in on it as fast as I can, ain't you?
And like, yeah, but like the worst thing is, like, this guy was like a really hateful guy, from what I understand, and it wasn't just, you know,
automatic people coming out of the floorboards of his place.
Yeah, and it's like, it wasn't just like, well, don't you come on this land. I think he got to the point where he was trying to shoot people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you don't mess with this guy.
Yeah, he went too far then.
But
so where was the cabin at that they shot the second movie, or the remake in?
I don't really know, man. I don't really know. I bet it probably wasn't Tennessee, though.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably some sound stage somewhere where they rebuilt everything. But I like the remake. And the thing is, I put a picture online. I put the 2 steelbooks, the original one and the remake one, online on my Instagram and on my Facebook the other day. And one guy was like, well, one of them's good. I'm like, no, both of them's good. Right. I hate remakes, but I like the remake of Evil Dead.
Yeah, I liked them. Both of them.
If you've not seen Evil Dead, which, if you listen to us, I'm sure you've seen it. I mean, I would hate to think somebody stumbled upon this podcast that has not seen the original Evil Dead. Go see it. One of the grossest hardcore horror films you're going to find, especially
I think it's my favorite.
Probably the best horror film of the 80s. I would put A Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and Return of the Living Dead, like, around it, but I would probably keep Evil Dead number 1, because I think that one, for what they had to work with, and the fact that he just took friends out to the woods, and that's what he come out with, that's pretty impressive. We've took friends out to our woods, and we haven't come up with nothing like that yet. Of course, he probably had more money than we had. He probably had student loans that he got to shoot through or something like that. We don't have nothing but whatever Game Exchange gives us for a couple of movies when we haul them in, and don't do that.
No, you'll get pretty well screwed on that.
You're going to get it. Now, I will say this much. They wasn't movies that I was ever going to watch again, or movies that I cared for, but I took 50 items up there. Most of them were Blu-ray, and I ended up getting $69 or something.
That's a complete rip-off. 3 of those movies was worth that.
Yeah, and one of them was a box set.
And some of them was Ultra 8 or Ultra 4K.
I know, man. It's like, I don't understand the way they do stuff like that, because I've took less and got more before, you know?
I know.
I don't know if they didn't look at them all or what. I don't know.
I think the thing about it is I think that they, when we got there, you know, we was talking to them and everything, I don't know if they actually put all of them in, because it seemed like it was just so fast.
He showed me the receipt at the end, and it looked like a bunch of stuff on it. Of course, I didn't go tick for tack, you know. Let's look at everything, but maybe I should have. But I don't know. It was like, we'll give you $110 store credit, or we can give you $69 cash. And I was like, give me the cash, because I thought we needed it, especially for what we was going to be doing that weekend. One good thing about this weekend, though, we ain't got to worry about blood and stuff, so we ain't got to have no money for that.
You know, that was the best thing about the last one, or about like the last weekend that we shot, just this past weekend, is we didn't have to get his store bad. So, I mean, like dirty and stuff, so that wouldn't have been too hard to clean up, you know. It wasn't hard to clean up. What I'm saying is, like, if we'd have had blood and guts, we'd have probably been there till 4 or 5 in the morning.
I know it. And the worst thing we had to do was move the horror section in front of the family section, and the family section where the horror section was, because of light.
Yeah.
But that's what we've seen, and we're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to come right back with some news making the rounds in the horror world.
For sure.
So get you some popcorn, pop you some H2O, or a good Dr. Pepper if you got one, because I like Dr. Pepper. And come back and watch us right here on Zombies Don't Podcast on ZombiesDon'tRun.net.
Don't go to Haddonfield. H-A-D-D-O-N-F-I-E-L-D, let's go! H-A-D-D-O-N-F-I-E-L-D, let's go! H-A-D-D-O-N-F-I-E-L-D, let's go! H-A-D-D-O-N-F-I-E-L-D, let's go! Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream, let's go to Haddonfield. Spend the night with Jimmy Lee, carve a pumpkin with a knife while Nick Castle lurks outside. This is Halloween night. This is Halloween night. This is Halloween night. H-A-D-D-O-N-F-I-E-L-D, let's go. H-A-D-D-O-N-F-I-E-L-D, let's go. Mr. Sandman, with that mask on your face, you can find your sister staying at the Untitled place. So watch your children on TV, but please don't take my Jimmy Lee. This is Halloween night. This is Halloween night. This is Halloween night. F-I-E-L-D, let's go. H-A-D-D-O-N.
And we're back here live on Zombies Don't Podcast. My name's Ethan Bowden, and this is...
Chuck Connery,
And we're going to kick it into some news, I believe.
That's right. And I want to talk about some news here that really frustrated me first off the bat here. Do you know what clickbait is?
Clickbait, yes, sir, just to get you to click on it because it's bull.
It makes it sound like it's something else, but then when you click it, it's really not that. It's like the
Yes.
worst thing about the internet nowadays is clickbait, because it'd be like, you'll never believe what this person said, and then you click it and it won't be nothing like special or nothing. But you know who Robert Englund is. He played Freddy Krueger in all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, every one of them besides the remake, which was Jackie Earle Haley of Watchmen fame, and nobody liked it. But the thing was, everybody wants to see him back as Freddy Krueger. So I seen the headlines, Robert Englund to play Freddy Krueger one last time. So I thought, oh my goodness, oh my Lord, we've got Robert Englund in another Nightmare on Elm Street movie. This is great. This is going to close out the book on it. This is what we need. So I click it only to find out that he's playing Freddy in jest only, because he's going to sit in a chair and we're going to watch him get the Freddy makeup put on him in a documentary called Nightmares in the Makeup Chair. So that's all it is, man. It's like a documentary about putting on makeup and latex and stuff like that. So we got fooled. We got tricked.
Yeah, see, they can't see my face right now, but I was in the utter disbelief.
I know. So I bet you the people that run them websites are sitting back there thinking, got him,
Yeah.
got him, every time somebody clicks, because it sounds like Robert Englund's going to be playing Freddy Krueger again, but he's not really playing Freddy Krueger
So
again.
it's just a documentary of him getting makeup.
And I don't even know like the whole story documentary, because I got so upset when I seen what it was going to be about and what it wasn't going to be about. So I was just like, nah, I ain't even going to read it. I ain't going to take my high above reading level and read this page, because this is a mess. And I just so distraught, because I got the thinking that we was going to be seeing him play Freddy Krueger one more time, and it ain't going to happen. So,
Well, people shouldn't put stuff like that if it's not what it's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, but I guess like the state of horror journalism, quote unquote, on websites have got so bad that
they have to
do that to just generate enough clicks to try to turn around and generate enough revenue to keep
their website going. If they're having, I mean, ads, they're trying to sell ads, because that's what it always comes down to, is people trying to sell ads. But it's still kind of a shady thing to do.
Right.
And it's false advertising. That's really, really what it is. It's false
actually
advertising.
kind of illegal.
Well, it should be. But it probably won't be, because, you know, the internet's free.
Well, yeah, but what I'm talking about is like, well, the internet's not actually free if you think about it.
Well, you got to pay for it, unless you said it at McDonald's parking lot.
Right, but either way, what I'm saying is, ain't false advertisement free?
False
advertisement is illegal, isn't it?
I don't think it's illegal unless they're selling you something. Like if they falsely sell you something based off some false claims.
Kind of like what we got into last week.
Kinda.
But we didn't get the product, though.
True.
But it didn't get ripped off. Well, we kind of did.
That's a horse of a different color.
Yeah, but anyway.
Let it be known, if you're at the Dollar Tree and something rings up for a penny, they're probably not going to sell it to you, even if it's baseball cards, because that means they're supposed to take it off the shelves and destroy it. So, yep, that's a bunch of baseball cards they're going to destroy at the local Dollar Tree.
That's kind of sad that they're going to destroy all that.
It is, because they could just give them to me, man. I'd pay them a penny for them.
Yeah, for real.
Friday 13th's in the news. Now, what year is this that we got Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday 13th both in the news in the same week? But they're opening some casting calls for the new Friday 13th movie that they keep saying every year we're going to get, and we ain't got yet. But apparently they're going to start production pretty soon on this, and it's supposed to come out this year. It's going to be the 13th Friday 13th movie, but they're wanting a young Jason, and I think they're wanting somebody to play Jason's dad, which you've never really touched on Jason's dad in any of the movies. They were going to touch on him a little bit in part 6, I believe, but then that got nipped in the bud. So I don't know what we're doing Friday 13th. I don't know why it's such a mess, why we can't get a straight up Friday 13th movie with Jason running around, killing naked teenagers, having sex and doing drugs in the woods, and they got to make it so complicated. But we need origin stories, and we got to see him as a kid, and we got to see him make fun of him, and we got to see him get shot down for prom, and the homecoming dance, and we got to see him not get what he wants for Christmas. It's just, I mean, it just seems like that's what they want to do. Is just like, what pushed this mongoloid boy into being the killer that he is now, apparently. So I don't know, man. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of like the Leatherface movie they're making right now for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is just an origin story of like Leatherface as a teenager, because, you know, we got to see him, you know, get shot down by the chicks and all that stuff, because it wouldn't be right if we didn't.
Right. So they never really prosper that people just turn out to be crazy. They're trying to make origin stories around everything now.
Well, you know, Jason, he's got a good enough reason without having to go back and show his childhood, because like Jason, okay, he's a mongoloid kid. He's got a deformed head and all that stuff. The counselors were off doing drugs, having sex. They let him drown. So that's good enough reason there for him to be coming back and hate counselors and whatnot.
Right.
But then his mom goes crazy in part 1, and she's killing everybody. So apparently, if some of these movies are to be true, you know, what they're selling to us, Jason saw his mom get decapitated, so therefore that pushed him on over the edge. So right. I don't know. I think that's good enough. I think we got all the history of Mr. Voorhees that we need. Jason's dad's a little bit of a new angle, but I just want to see Jason doing what Jason's supposed to do. Now, yeah, they ran it to the ground in the 80s when they had one like every couple years or every year, and they'd skip a year or two here, and then they'd do another one. And, you know, then they started getting a little bit too gimmicky with it, and Jason had to go to Manhattan, and he had to go to hell, which, according to who you talk to, that's the same place. And then, like, you know, he had to go to space, and then he had to fight Freddy, which could have been done better than it was.
Right.
But at this point,
I thought that was pretty
it was all right. But at this point in time, we just need Jason in the woods.
So are they like starting production now, and it's going to be out at the end of this year or next year?
I think it's going to come out sometime around this summer, fall, something like that, I think.
Well, we got to go see that.
Yeah, I'll be there. I may be booing by the time it's all over, but I will be there because I've waited too long for it. And I think the rumor is going to be called like Friday 13th Part 13, which I don't know how you're going to do that because you're counting the remake, isn't it?
So is this supposed to be like the best one?
Well, they're going to say it is, but it's probably not. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. It depends who's making it and what they're going to do with it. But
have they even released the director?
I don't really know. I think they had like some rumors, but then that didn't pan out, so I don't really know what the story is with it right now.
They already got Tarantino.
Yeah, he at one time was offering like they kind of had that idea out there for a while that Tarantino could do one, but he ain't going to do that because let's face it, Tarantino's above Friday 13th right now. Yeah. I think if you want to do Friday 13th movie, and I said this in a YouTube video I uploaded like last year, just get some of these new directors that's so good at what they do, get a Ty West or somebody like that, and just let them take a shot at it, man, and to get these indie directors or something and have them put out these movies, because these are cheaply made movies. They don't have to spend over budget. They don't have to go well up there just for what they're doing. And they can just they can put one of these out every year, just let it just naturally progress. And you can put one of these things out every year. I mean, if you can get these whatever these generic Ouija movies are at the store, and I mean, these ain't the real Ouija movies that's in theaters. These are knockoff Ouija movies. If you can get 4 of them in a year, you can get at least a Jason Voorhees movie every year, And the same thing for Halloween. It's just something they overthink, and when you overthink it and you get away from the format, then you end up with just a mess, and that's what's happening. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it turns out really good. I just want to see Jason running around doing what he does best, preferably without CGI kills. I want real blood, not real blood, but fake blood.
You want a real?
Real blood. I got him. No, I don't want the CGI blood. And that's basically what I want. If you want to switch up, I mean, we've always talked about for years, why not put Jason in the snow? That'd be different. It's wintertime. People are at the camp. It's wintertime. So here comes Jason, big burly Jason in the snow, running around and slicing and dicing. It seems corny. It seems like it's already been overhyped. But it could be done. And I hope that this here proves me wrong, and I hope it's not a mess, and I hope it's really good, and I hope it spawns a Friday the 13th movie every year until we get sick of it again. And then we can be like, well, we're sick of it. We don't want it anymore. But that's, basically that's the key news we got this week. Although I do want to cover some releases that were sent to me by these fine companies that I want to talk about. First, let's talk about some Scream Factory stuff coming up. On March the 14th, 2017, we got Stephen King's Firestarter Collector's Edition coming out. It says, turn up the heat this spring with the new Collector's Edition Blu-ray available on the 14th from Scream Factory. A brand new 2K scan of the inner positive film elements. New audio commentary with director Mark L. Lester. New Playing with Fire, the making of Firestarter. New Tangerine Dream, the movie music memories. New exclusive performance of Charlie's theme by Joanne's Schmalling of Tangerine. Did I totally butcher that? I think I did. At new theatrical, well, not a new theatrical trailer, but the theatrical trailer, radio spots, and still gallery. That is Scream Factory's Firestarter Collector's Edition coming out.
Has that already been out before?
It's been out a lot, but this is the first time that Scream Factory's doing a Collector's Edition.
Do you have it?
No. That is one of the few
Stephen King movies you don't have.
Yeah, it's one of the few Stephen King type things I don't got. I
think my favorite Stephen King movie is The Mist. Although it's not horror, really.
Yeah, it's horror-ish, and I like a lot of Stephen King. I like the It movie. I like
It too.
I like Graveyard Shift. Christine. Carrie, I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, if it's Stephen King, I like it, and I'll be happy to get that and give it a good spin and review it on the website right here on zombiesdon'trun.net. Cheap plug. Also from Scream Factory on March 21st, we've got Robocop 2 and 3 in Collector's Edition Blu-rays, and I don't know about you, buddy, but when I think horror, I think Robocop.
I hear you.
I'll be honest with you, I've not seen 2 and 3 since I was a kid. I rented them and I watched them, and that was that. I love the first one. I don't have the first one Blu-ray. I've got a steelbook DVD of it, but RoboCop 1 is one of my favorite all-time movies. But 2 and 3, I seen them once, and I just don't remember.
I don't think I've ever seen them.
I don't remember loving them, man. I mean, maybe I will now because it'd be the first time I've watched them in a long time, but maybe there's more to them. Maybe there's some more effects and stuff to them that's getting them on the Scream Factory brand. You know what I mean? But let's see. RoboCop 2 comes with a new 2K scan of the inner positives. New audio commentary with author CG supervisor Paul M. Salmon. New audio commentary with the makers of RoboDoc, the creators of RoboCop documentary. New Corporate Wars, the making of RoboCop 2. New machine parts, the FX of RoboCop 2. New Robo Fabricator, an interview with RoboCop armor fabricator James Blackovic. I don't know why they get these names I can't pronounce. It kills me. I'm an educated man, I swear. New adapting Frank Miller's RoboCop 2. New OCP Declassified, a collection of rare archival production and behind-the-scenes videos. Theatrical trailer, teaser trailer, TV spots, deleted scenes, still gallery. That is a loaded Blu-ray for RoboCop 2.
For sure.
I mean, you would think that's RoboCop 1 with all those effects, all the special features and effects stuff they got on there. RoboCop 3 comes with a new audio commentary from director Fred Decker, a new audio commentary of the makers of RoboDoc, which is the same dude that did a documentary or a commentary for the second one. New Delta City Shuffle to make it a RoboCop 3. New RoboVision FX RoboCop 3. New Corporate Ladder, an interview with actor Felton Perry. New Training Otomo, an interview with actor Bruce Loke. And martial artist trainer Bill Ryushi. I think I got that one right. New War Machine, an interview with RoboCop gun fabricator James Belovich. You know, I was just bragging earlier about how good of a reader I was, and then they throw me these names, man.
Yeah, just throw
these names that I don't know if I'm going up or down on stuff like that. My goodness, my gracious. Please get some better names. So that's all for Scream Factory, and I will definitely be getting those. I mean, I need to see them. I ain't seen them since I was a kid. Maybe I'm missing something if they're good collector's editions. Either that, over to the scraping the bottom of the barrel portion of releasing collector's editions from Scream Factory. Arrow's killing it, though. And we got some March 2017 releases from Arrow. We've got the Takeshi Mike's Dead or Alive trilogy, which is on DVD and Blu-ray March the 14th. Takeshi Mike is great. I've been trying to get you to watch some Takeshi Mike. I've been trying to get you to watch Ichi the Killer, but you won't do it, buddy. You got to do it for me now.
I don't remember you ever asking me that.
Oh, I asked more than once. And he's like, sure, I won't watch that. You looked at it.
I didn't say it like that.
Well, maybe you didn't say it like that, but you was like, I don't want to watch it, homie.
What is it about?
It's like the Yakuza in Japan, like the mob.
Yeah.
But there's this one real charismatic character called, I think he's called Nakamura. No, he ain't Nakamura. Nakamura's on NXT. No, I forget his name, but he's got like these slits on his jaws and stuff. And it's a real good movie. You need to watch it. I mean, it's hard to explain, but you need to watch it.
Is it scary or?
But it's like got a lot of gore and stuff to it.
Okay.
It's probably got some bad gore. Some of it is because some of it is CGI, but it's good. But, and also coming from them in March, this is on March the 21st on Blu-ray, it's the House 2 stories. It's House 1 and House 2. If you live in the UK, though, and you got a region-free player, you get a better collection of the House stuff because you get House 1, 2, 3, and 4, which I'll be jealous for 4 because technically I got 3 because 3 was released in America, or at least alternately at one point in time, called Horror Show. I believe it's called Horror Show, which Scream Factory released that on Blu-ray a couple years back. So I've got technically what was House 3. I've got House 1, 2 on DVD. I'll be happy to have them on Blu-ray because I love them. The fourth one, I may have to get my Stimes up, get my Monet up, and order that because I definitely want Part 4. So as we look here for the Dead or Alive 1 and 2 information here, I want you to bear with me because these are Japanese names and I will totally botch them. So be warned. We got a high definition digital transfer of all 3 films. I thought it was 1, 2, and 3. Original stereo audio. Optional English subtitles for all 3. New interview with Rike Takeuchi. New interview with actor Sho Akawa. New interview with producer and screenwriter Tokishi Kimura. New audio commentary for Dead or Alive by Mickey, that's the director. And archive interview with cast and crew. Archive making a featurette for Dead or Alive 2. And the third one, original theatrical trailer for all 3. Reversible sleeve featuring original newly commissioned artwork by Orlando Orosina. So, did you catch all that? I hope you did.
I got most of it.
And the first pressings only will feature an illustrated collector's booklet featuring new writings on the film by Kat Ellinger. So that is the Dead or Alive ones. And the House 1 and 2 collection here, limited to only 5,000 copies. So them scalpers are going to be scalping up, buddy.
Yeah.
These going to be on eBay for about 80 bones by the time the year's over, probably. So, limited edition contents. Brand new 2K restoration of House and House 2 The Second Story. High definition Blu-ray presented in 1080p, which you should have already knew that. Optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. That's nice of them. The House Companion limited edition 60-page booklet featuring new writings on the entire House franchise by researcher Simon Barber, alongside a wealth of archival materials. So, House 1, the disc, has audio commentary with director Steve Milner, producer Sean S. Cunningham, who also produced Friday the 13th. Ding Dong, You're Dead, The Making of House, Steel Gallery, theatrical trailer, and House 2, the second story, has an audio commentary with writer-director Ethan Wiley and Sean S. Cunningham, who again produced and directed some of the Friday the 13th films. It's Getting Weirder, the making of House 2, still gallery, theatrical spots. It's got a shipping retail price of $59.95. Please, Lord Jesus, let them send me one to review because I want it. I want it bad. But I will get it one way or another. That don't mean I'll steal it. That means I'll buy it if I have to.
Yeah.
I'll get it. But if I'm going to have to buy it, I'm going to go ahead and buy the UK one with all 4 because I have a BDR drive that will play that mofo on my television.
Right.
And you can sit there and watch it with me if you want to be hip to the game, son.
Is that the same movie you was talking about a minute ago?
No.
So what is it about?
House, this guy moves into a house that's haunted. And it's haunted by like an old soldier guy that he used to be in the army with. You know, and it's really, it's kind of funny, you know. And then the second one kind of has like, you know, it's kind of the same thing, but it's a little bit more goofier. Third one is a more serious film because it's like Shocker. A guy gets executed and he comes back haunting this dude. The fourth one kind of makes no sense whatsoever. The fourth one is kind of like a continuation. I only seen the fourth one when I rented it at the video store when I was a kid, and I ain't seen it since. But best to my knowledge, it has the guy from part 1 back. And it's just like, something happens and we mostly follow his wife and she's being haunted. So it's good stuff. It's campy. It's corny. It's 80s. I love it. I gots to have it. Wouldn't that be great on a Saturday night with your woman by your side? A doggone sun drop that you can get for 50 cents out of a sun drop machine up here at Leach Canyon Beach Grove. And a doggone $5 Little Caesar pizza. Now that is the weekend to me. That's living it up.
Yeah, for sure.
Living it up.
And then shooting the movie the next day.
That's how you live it, baby. That's how you should do it. With the American dream that they rolls on the edge of a lightning bolt, baby. That's the way you want to do it. I tell you what I don't look forward to, though. Sharknado 5 is coming out. Have you seen any of the Sharknado movies?
No.
I hate them. I loathe them with the fiery passion of 1,000 suns. I hate them.
What are they about?
They're about a Sharknator, man. They're about a shark tornado that comes through the town. And they're so goofy. Like, the more they go, the goofier they get. And I don't even want to talk about it too much. But apparently, Sharknado 5 and the Sci-Fi Channel and the Asylum have announced production on Sharknado 5, featuring Ian Ziering and Tara Reid back again. I don't even know what the plot could possibly be. This thing's been going on since, like, 2013. Then they had Sharknado 2, the second one. They had Sharknado 3, oh hell no.
Was any of them any good?
No. And then they had Sharknado 5, The Force Awakens, as they totally played on The Force Awakens from Star Wars. If you want to see how you can lose brain cells without doing drugs, then by Georgie, you watch Sharknado. That's all I got to tell you on that one. And that about wraps us up. Although before we do get out of here this week, we need to talk about something cool we're supposed to be a part of. Do you like Chattanooga?
Oh, yeah.
Do you like cons?
Yes.
Not con men, but like con conventions.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Then you want to be at Connooga 2017, located in beautiful Chattanooga, Tennessee, at the Chattanooga Convention Center and Historical Chattanooga Choo-Choo Hotel, baby.
Hey, that right there is the way you say
That's
it.
how you do it. February 24th through the 26th if you want to stay at the Chattanooga Choo-Choo Hotel. I'm sorry, but they are sold out, son. But we're just supposed to be there for one day anyway because the
That'd
Tennessee...
be Saturday, right?
That's right. That's Saturday, baby. And that would be on the 25th because the Tennessee Horror Podcast is getting together a local filmmaker panel full of people that make movies or in movies and probably talk about movies from the Tennessee area. They asked yours truly to be there. So I'm going to be there, but I'm going to bring my crews with me. You know what I'm saying?
That's the way we got to ball
That's
out.
how we roll. So I'm going to be at the door and be like, you going to let us all in here? What, man?
We're going to be 50 deep in that place.
50 deep. I need 50 free passes. No, I don't know, but
like 4.
I definitely want to be there and I want to go because it's the first time I've ever had the opportunity to be a part of a panel.
I've never been to one.
I've never been to that. I've been to the one in Nashville, the Full Moon one. I've been to it twice. Both times I got press passes. Both times I got held up at the door and then finally got let in because the guy that gives us press passes forgot to give us press passes, so they didn't have them waiting on us.
Oh.
And they had to call and go, we got a couple of people here from a website called Zombie.Run.net. They claiming they're on the press list. I can't find them on the list. And so we stood
like
there.
That?
Yeah, just like that. Just like that. So we stood there for 20 minutes and it was like, let them on in. You know?
Like Ebenezer.
Yeah, so we got in there and that was fun, but this year will be even funner, more funner. Get my grammar teacher in here. because we'll be sitting up there at the panel, and they'll ask us questions like, how do you do what you do? And I'll be like, I don't know, because I don't spend no money when I do it.
For real.
That's it, man. And that'll be the Chattanooga Con-Nooga thing, man. And I think it'd be cool. So
I think it should be good. Is there any special guests that amount to anything?
Well, I don't know if I'd word it that way. Amount to anything.
Not like that. I'm not amount to anything.
Well, there's going to be some horror people there. Vincent Price's daughter is going to be there for one panel. They're going to have a Star Wars versus Star Trek panel, you know, for the people that want to go hog wild and fight to the death on which nerd pastime is the best, which, I mean, I'm a fellow nerd. I can call him that. I'm not a self-hating nerd. I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not. But they got some guests here. As far as, like, names go, they haven't really put much on their website, but they do have Tawny Katan listed.
Who is that?
She was the girl that slid across the car on that Whitesnake video. You remember her?
Oh, Lord.
Jenna Bush, who is a really hot nerd, by the way. I don't know what she does. Martin Kleba, he is a dwarf. Can we call him a dwarf? Do they say midgets these days?
I don't know, man.
He's a short man. He played...
Wait, what?
He was in Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and he was in Ted 2.
That's where I seen him in Ted too.
Yep.
So he's gonna be there.
He's gonna be there.
I didn't mean like people that amount to. I'm saying any bigger names like Bruce Campbell or somebody. Is he gonna be there?
No, afraid not. See, the thing is though, and they explained this on their radio thing when they was talking about it, is the more money you spend for gas, like the less money there is for everything else. So
I thought you was gonna say the more money you spend for gas.
No, the more money, more problem towards BIG theory. But no, it's kind of a low key type thing. But they have a lot of people there, so it should be pretty packed. And Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, yours truly will be up there acting like he knows what he's talking about. So it should be fun. If you're in the Tennessee area around that, weekend of February, come on out. Wish me happy birthday, because my birthday's in a few days. But you can wish me happy birthday then. I accept money. I accept presents. I accept gift cards, cashier's checks. I'll accept food stamps. You want to give me some of them? Either way, if you want to wish me happy birthday, I'll be around. But nonetheless, that's all the news. That's all we got for this week. And we're going to try not to be late next week, although we do got to film a movie this weekend, so it may be a little late. I don't know.
And we got some stuff brewing in the pot.
Yeah, stuff's a brewing. We're adding the spice. We're adding the sweetener.
And we've already got the spoon stirred.
And we're mixing it up. We're whipping it up in the kitchen. But until then, this was Chuck Connery.
And this here's Ethan Bogan.
And this was Zombies Don't Podcast Live, sorta, right here on ZombiesDon'tRun.net.
And we're going to be back next week, believe that.
Believe that.
December 1965. Is that all it has been since I inherited the world? Only 3 years. Seems like 100 million.